Hello everyone, welcome to Marlin Chess Kids. Today I'll show you the gameplay by Juraj and Pavol. The game started with pawn to e4, c5, knight f3, e6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, d6. And here in this position you can see that the white is better with two pieces on the board. There is a knight in d4 and knight in c3, while the black only have one knight. The white continue to play a very aggressive move and attack by playing pawn to g4, and this is called the Keres attack, and g5 to chase the knight away from the center of the board. So in the move 6, white play g4, and here black play h6 to prevent the pawn from push to g5. Then white continued to attack by moving another pawn attack with the play h4, and black continued to play a6. Then white continued to play rook to g1, and this will allow the pawn to push to g5 with the bishop protecting the pawn and the rook protecting the pawn, and another pawn protecting the pawn at g5. So this will be a very strong attack. Then black continued to play h5, and now white continued to play g takes h5 and knight takes h5. Then white continued to move bishop to g5, and with the idea of attacking the queen and controlling the file and prevent the knight to go back to f6. So if the black play knight to f6 to prevent the attack, then white continue to play queen to d2, and black continue to play knight to c6, and here after the queen move to d2, this allowed the king to have a long castling. So the white play long castling and bishop and the queen to b6. Now with the idea of attacking the knight, and white may bring another pawn to attack the knight. So white exchange the knight, knight takes c6, b takes c6, e5 from the white, and d takes e5, and in this situation white is slightly better in the position. Then white play bishop to g2, and this the idea of attacking the pawn and able to check the king and fork the rook. And this also have the idea of checkmate the king, because the queen can go to d8 and checkmate. So if you make an example move, like g6, then the bishop can just capture the c6 pawn and check the king. So bishop takes c6, and this will be made in 2. If the queen to capture, then the queen will go direct to d8 and checkmate the king. If the black use the knight to block, and here the queen again will sacrifice and check the king, and the king have no place to move. So the only way to prevent is to capture the queen, and the bishop will be the checkmate. So in actual game, after bishop to g2, the black play bishop to e7, and here to allow a castling from the black. Then white continue to attack and move forward the knight by playing knight to e4, and the idea of attack the knight and check the king. So knight to e4, black continue to play rook to b8 with the strong idea of checkmate the white by using the queen to capture the b2 pawn. So white just prevent the attack by moving b3, and after this the black play queen to b4, and with the idea to exchange the queen, and also with the idea of attacking the knight. So at this position, can you find what is the white idea to play? Will you capture the queen? I give a couple of seconds to figure this out. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer, and for those who like to enjoy the show, here are the moves. In the actual game, knight and check the king. With this, the king can move to f8, or use the bishop to capture the knight, or use a pawn to capture the knight. So let's say if the king move to f8, and here you have a very beautiful checkmate. For example, queen to d8 and check the king. Queen to d8, check the king. Bishop takes d8, rook takes d8 and check the king again. Then the king have no pieces to block. The only way is to move to king e7, and here you have knight to d5, and you have a double check, and it's a mate, or knight to g8, and the queen will be check the king and protecting the rook. For example, knight to d5, check the king with a double attack, and the king have no place to move. Or the knight go to g8, and again the king are not able to move. So in the actual game, after knight, here again you have the brilliant sacrifice by playing queen to d8 and check the king. So d8, and you cannot take with the rook, so the only way is to capture with the bishop, and you have rook checkmate. So after knight takes f6, and in the actual game the white play g to take f6, and here white continue to attack by playing bishop capture the f6 and check the king, capture the c6 and check the king. So bishop takes c6 and check the king, and the king can move to f8. And after this, the white resign because there could be no save the king from the check. For example, if the rook takes h6, then you have queens take h6 and checkmate. And with this, thank you.